Is there anybody in the room who does not like to be consoled every now and again? Okay, good. Nobody. So everybody loves to be loved, right? Everybody loves to be consoled, to be comforted. What if you could do that for yourself? You're always with yourself. Your partner may not always be by your side, and more than half of the time that they are, they probably don't feel like consoling you. What if you could console yourself? Not as a temporary fix, not as a shot, but as a really deep, constant sense of well-being, a constant sense of self-love. Anybody who would not desire that? Because usually that's all that's necessary for healing to take place. We're all, to some degree, into the healing business. If you're in pain, you try to console the pain. If you're in emotional pain, you try to console the emotional pain through all kinds of means. But what if you had this one mean, at least for all your emotional pains, for all your psychological distortions, ideas, beliefs? Anybody ever lonely? No one? Wow. Nobody ever lonely? Okay, good. Thanks for your honesty. Half of the people. That aloneness, not so much the loneliness, but the aloneness, without the story of loneliness, just the being alone. Because loneliness, what is loneliness? It's simply being without anybody else being around you. Or sometimes you're surrounded by lots of people and you still feel lonely. But loneliness minus the story of you is simple, non-dual aloneness. If you don't label the loneliness lonely for a moment, you just relax completely all mental abstractions, all mental elaborations and descriptions. What shines forth naturally when you relax, thinking, I'm lonely, or any other thought? What remains? Your aloneness. And that aloneness is love. Because the aloneness doesn't need, the aloneness is. So self-love, comforting yourself or consoling yourself in all kinds of circumstances, in all forms of loneliness, throughout all forms of suffering. Self-love or consoling yourself. What's that experience like? Alright, do you have any experience with that? What it's like to love yourself? Because I use that phrase quite a bit, love yourself, but do you really know what I mean by love yourself? Do you really know what I mean by love yourself? What if self-love is not just a thought? It's not just a new way of thinking. It's not just the thought, going from the thought, I'm lonely, I'm miserable, I'm unworthy, to the thought, I'm lovable, I'm worthy, and all that kind of stuff. It can be helpful, it can be a trigger to remember. But the real self-love that lasts, that's not a word, that's not an idea, is the presence that already is before you turn it into anything. Before you say what something is, it's nothing yet, nothing in particular. Before you give it a name, any appearance within consciousness, in other words, any occurrence of life, is life, and life is love. And I know that sounds cheesy and that sounds cliche, that life is love. La 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 la, sure. So many teachers out there that say it's all love. Where's the love? I can't feel the love. I can't see the love. Is this love? Is that love? So many problems. I'm so alone. Where's the love? Sure, I can recognize awareness, but where's the love? I don't feel fulfilled. The quality of love, it's like frying a chicken. It takes a while, like, in the oven. You just sit there and you're waiting for it. You can see that it's chicken, but it doesn't have that flavor yet. It's not ready yet. Sometimes, instantaneously or spontaneously, people experience love. Just this causeless self-love. Not self in reference to any idea or thought about themselves or about other people, loving them or liking them. But the self-love which is without other. Just love, loving itself. Usually that takes a little while, a little time to marinate within yourself. So the moment you stop labeling your experience, you'll start to notice a difference already. You'll start to notice that you're going from story to isness. Does that make sense, the word isness? Like my hand is. It's very simple. It's not a hand until I call it a hand. Before I call it a hand, what stands out to me is the isness of the colors, the isness of the shape, the isness of the weight, the sense. It's not yet a hand. Of course I understand that we call it a hand. But before you label anything, including your emotions, including your self-torture, before you label it anything, it shines as its isness. Its isness shines. Its color, its sense, its visceral sense, its emoting. Even the descriptions about the appearances that turn the isness into things, even that still is. Even that shines. Even the descriptions and the stories themselves, when we can look at them and not be them, but look at them, we can appreciate the isness within the words of the story, within the description of the mind. We can see that the mind itself, thought itself, distraction itself, is perfectly here, now, part of this inseparable field of consciousness.